everybody, and welcome to another episode of Origins by the Esports Awards, where we speak to your favorite creators, the top esports talent and players, and people behind the scenes who make the cogs turn. Today, I have a very special guest. I might say he is the architect of Indian esports. Welcome to the show, 8-Bit Thug.
Thank you so much, Trevor. Absolute pleasure being here. And yeah, it's always good to be a part of podcast and speak about Indian gaming and talk all things gaming.
And of course, today's episode is entirely focused on you, your background, Indian esports, and talking about the decade-long that we've got here for the Esports Awards. Before we dive into our questions, I'd love to get a little summary, who you are, where you're from, and exactly how you found your success for anybody that maybe doesn't know who 8-Bit Thug is.
Right. So I go by the internet name 8-Bit Thug. My real name is Animesh Agarwal. I come from a town named Guwahati in Assam, from the northeastern part of India. Very beautiful. You guys must visit. I have a I was majorly a guy, very nerdy guy, deep dived into academics. I have a finance background. I cleared my CFA level 1, FRM level 1, and also I'm a CA finalist. CA is an accountancy course in India. So I was deep shit into studies. But then obviously, you know, the free time was always meant for mobile gaming. I think, you know, the time when I decided to take on gaming is when I watched the likes of some biggest gamers, biggest streamers like Ninja, Imperial Hell, TSM Deck, and Myth, you know, pulling insane numbers on Twitch. And I was like, okay, I have been playing games for the last 4-5 years. And I see these guys doing amazing stuff, making crazy money, getting crazy numbers, getting those fame. I was like, I need to try it out at least once. I've been blessed by super supportive parents. You know, they allowed me a year's sabbatical, a year's break from studies, and they funded my first gaming setup so that I could start streaming. And I would say rest is history. So that's a little bit of a gist of how it all started. There's a lot more, but I'm just going to keep it short.
Good. I mean, listen, you've actually touched on a whole bunch of the topics that I actually want to discuss today. Before we dive into the gaming stuff, let's also talk about traditional sports. We're here at the Esports World Cup. Competition is in my blood. I come from a competitive background. I played in Quake. I played Call of Duty 4. But I grew up watching cricket. I have to ask, who were your favorite cricket players? And what do you think of the South African cricket players playing in the IPL?
I think Indians love all the South African
Obviously,
players.
Yes.
ABD, Faf, and like we have had, the ballers all coming in. I think we and Indians and South Africans, they share such an amazing relation on ground. And from the time back in days, watching Jack Callis, watching Hashim Amla, Graham Smith, all of them play. Our test matches used to be so intense. Run machines, I used to call them.
Can I say thank you so much? You are so kind and so generous to compliment all the South African players. I feel like an old man, and nobody in my world in Europe really knows cricket. It's not a big sport. You know, I don't have enough British people around, so I miss it. Okay. That's enough selfish personal stuff. We're here to talk about you. We're here to talk about your background. I want to start a little bit on the transition from using your business skills and your business studies to then marrying that with your gaming, passion. 8-Bit Studios, S8UL, you have built this massive following. So how did you build the following? And at what point did you make the brave decision to go, I'm going to start companies? Because that's not something that every creator does.
See, I think following is about doing things correct. Like they call us influencers. If your influence has been correct on the society, I believe you get following naturally. I think as S8UL, what we have always tried to do is make a positive influence of gaming. The country that I come from, India, very big country, very skilled country, insane population. But gaming was always stereotyped because, in India, it's always been either you go for studies or join your parents' business. It's always been very traditional. So I believe the reason why we have been able to amass such a big following in India is because we have always been able to create a positive influence about gaming. Gaming is being seen as something that makes you violent, something that's seen as waste of time, something that doesn't take you places. But what we try to show the world, look at us. We aren't violent. We have gone to places. We are making money. We are fulfilling our parents' dream. And we try to set a path, a benchmark for people if they want to achieve something in gaming. So I think that's the reason why I would say primarily S8UL has such a big fan following, led by one of the biggest creators in India, Mortal, who is also our co-founder. The kind of positive aura that he radiates wherever he is, I think that led the path and tone for entire S8UL to follow and for us to continue on his legacy.
You are one of the most charismatic and inspirational speakers I have had the pleasure of interviewing. We've been sat down for 5 minutes and I'm motivated to do things.
Thank you so much.
It really is infectious. And at the risk of being rude and the stereotypes, when I grew up in South Africa, the Indian students in my class were always the top achievers. And the Indian friends that I have, they always speak about the pressure they get from their parents. You have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, you have to do, really good things. Right. You mentioned your parents are very supportive. Be honest with me. How supportive were they of your gaming passion when you sat that side by side with the CA and all of your studies?
So I think, my parents have been very broad-minded, but I realized this, and which I've always said on record, the reason why they supported me for that 1 year's break, because I had an insane backup that even if I do not succeed in this, I could have always gone back and got into my studies, cleared my degrees, moved out of India, stayed in India, did my dream job of being an investment banker.
You had a foundation in like reality,
right,
and the dream of esports on top.
Right. I think, and that's very important for anyone in India. This is something that I always say, have a backup. I know we need all the young guns, age of 16, 17, 18, to come and play, to get into the game because they have some amazing reflexes. But then that is also the most important time of their career. So, even though I have so many players in my roster, I always tell them, you have exams, it's fine. We're going to lose. Yeah. Not a worry. You are not missing your exams. I speak to their parents. I stay in touch about their academics and understand that they shouldn't be rebellious against their family to join S8UL. So these are a few things that form the core of my work ethics that I would say I'm not here to just win. I want people to win in life, not just trophies.
You're going to be very happy when you hear this. I had a similar relationship with my parents. When I was 16, I wrote a contract that said every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday on my scrim nights, you're not allowed to do anything with me. I eat in my room, I play my games. Every Friday, Saturday, and every other night, I will say yes to whatever activity you want. I will maintain my school, but to me, it was really important. And I got to learn structure. I got to learn teamwork. I got to learn communication skills. I also wanted to be the boss. I got to be the captain of the team, so I learned leadership skills. What are some of the skills that you learned from being an exceptional gamer yourself, watching these hugely influential and successful people, like you mentioned, Imperial Hell, Ninja, etc.? So what skills did you learn, pick up, and then apply to starting your own companies?
I think if I'll talk about those legends, they were a very important part of inspiring me to start as streamers. But as I gradually got into business, it's been 7 years since we started S8UL. I feel the biggest learning has been humility. You can reach as far as you want in life if you have a vision, if you have resources. I think no one's stopping you. But the only big break could be humility. People forget being humble as they grow. I think it's the most important part, to never forget your roots, never forget where you're coming from, never forget who supported you when there was no one else. Today, when I walk into a room, I have thousands of people clapping for me. I may have millions tomorrow, but that does not mean that I should forget who I am, what my roots are, and where I come from.
I wish I met you when I was younger. Like, honestly, I agree entirely.
It's not that I have learned this through the phase. There have been times, during my early phase of going viral, blowing up, I have been rude. I lost that humility. I used to pass any comment on streams. I used to have a loose mouth. But then, I think with age, with time, and as you become more mature, you realize that humility is a thing that no one can take away from you.
And I agree. I think humility is also a skill that you learn, in my opinion, after you learn self-reflection. Because I think you have to be able to actually look yourself in the mirror and say, these are the things that, hey, I can do better. You don't have to be mad at yourself, right? But you need to be able to say, hey, Trevor, sometimes you get too aggressive. Sometimes you're a little too much of a toxic gamer.
Right.
So learn to control your tongue. And it comes with the territory, I think.
100%. I mean, like managing 30 plus creators across roughly 40, 50 plus esports athletes, and then managing our entire core team. I think there have been incidents where I have lost my shit. I mean, like I've gone ham. And then I feel sad, when I just blow up on someone, and I'm the person, the next minute I'm going to say, come, let's go out for a drink. Come, let's go out for a coffee. Let's chill. Because I feel that I don't want to leave an impact of myself for a moment of rage or for a moment where I am upset that impacts their life. That could just leave an impact on them for a person that I'm not.
Yes.
I know deep down I have a person good at hurt. Let not the mind affect the hurt.
So listen, can you pinpoint a specific memory or a specific period in your life when you looked and you said, I'm going to commit to gaming. I'm going all in. What was the decision or the turning point?
I think it could be somewhere around 2019 mid. So just to give context, I started on 30th July 2018. So I'm gonna hit 8 years in gaming, 7 years in
the
gaming in
success
7 days.
Congratulations.
Thank
in
you
a,
so much.
a relatively short space of time.
Thank you so much. And I think it was around mid 2019 when we won 2 consecutive events. Our Team Soul won 2 consecutive events in PUBG Mobile. And the kind of support that those 4 boys were seeing. Obviously, I was the guy in behind the scenes. But then I realized now I need to do it. Obviously, I had my own selfish needs that this thing can grow. The team is winning. But when I saw the audience, the fans across India rooting for them, cheering for Mortal, cheering for the Team Soul when they used to walk in, I said I need to do it for them as well, for the 4 players and the fans. These guys know how to play. I know how to play the industry. Let's do it.
Unbelievable. Basically 1 year as an individual and immediately then moving into things. It took me about 6 or 7 years to tick off my personal goals before I learned that, but I get to that point. The other the other impressive thing for me is I can obviously understand content creator, influencer, gaming organization, teams. But you've also started a gaming focused talent agency. Why are you mad enough to do that at the same time as everything else?
Because there was no one else. So, like I said, we all started when we were at zero. It's not that, we just partnered up with like Mortal. I joined him when he was at 250K subs. He's at 7 million right now. We were business partners. And then there came a point when he needed a manager and there was no one else. It was just 2 of us. So I decided, okay, I'm going to help you out. And then I said, I'm going to help his teammates as well, who are also my players. And then it just kicked off. I mean, like there are creators in my team right now who are at million and a half, 2 million, whose YouTube account was made on my laptop. So, the grassroots of talent management for me are so deep. And I'm mad, like you said, I'm crazily mad about people. I'm very passionate about having people achieve their goals and parallelly fulfilling my goals as well. I say that I'm a people's person first. I love my people. Because I feel S8UL does not make them. They combine together, make S8UL what it is today, and they make me. They fulfill that part of me that I sacrifice. I left my career as a content creator, and today when I see them achieving it, I feel a part of me is achieving my dream.
Animesh,
so it's just too good.
Do you ever sleep? You do so many things. Do you have 25 hours in a day?
Yes, I sleep, but I sleep very less. So it's like, 10 days of very less sleep and then my body would crash one fine night.
Word. I can feel it. Let's stay on the talent agency as well, because I think a lot of our viewers and a lot of people in the industry will understand the influencer, the streamer, the esports angle. But that in addition, having the agency in addition, how does managing these influencers, how does creating and looking at creators impact your business decisions, and what have you learned from that perspective?
See, I think this is a most complicated part. Opening a talent business is like, you could have talents on your payroll, you could have talents on your contracts and just get them brand endorsements. It could be very transactional. At 8-bit, I believe that it's a very interpersonal touch that I have with my creators. That's why I call ourselves a boutique agency. We have only 30-35 creators, exclusively managed, handpicked, working with them one-to-one. Like, if you go to everyone's bio or if you ask them, they'll always say I'm managed by Thug. They won't say I'm managed by 8-bit creatives. They'll say Thug managers, irrespective of their numbers, because I believe that when I manage a talent, I just don't manage their brand endorsements. I have to manage their personal lives. I have to manage their mental health. I have to ensure that they're in the best physical form. I have to ensure being in India, their parents are happy. They have their goals. Everyone coming from a not so humble background. They want to buy a house. They want to buy a car.
Yeah.
For me, it's working with them to achieve that. For me, it's about taking an all-around care of all of my creators, because that just makes me very satisfied. When I do something for my creator and I go to sleep, I really sleep for extra 2 hours. So for me, talent management is very different. I know that's not the industry norm. Industry norms are very transactional. You do contracts, you get the business, you bring in the money, and they just move on.
You're preaching to the choir, because I'm a freelance content creator myself now. I do consultant work. It's literally perform a deliverable,
correct,
show up to your job, and that's it.
Yes, but at 8-bit, we work very differently. I have the best creators who are amazing friends right now, and I'm a good friend, elder brother to some. So I just love what I do.
Now, the thing is, it's very clear to me you wear lots of different hats.
Right.
I think you are a very good juggler. I assume as much based on the success that I can see from 8-bit Studios and S8UL. but there are only so many hours in a day, so many days in a week, so many events in a month. How do you prioritize your time? And what is the decision-making factors that makes you go, today, I have to go S8UL team management over talent management at 8-Bit Studios?
So I think over the time, we have been able to build a very solid core team. We are a small team. It might take a lot of audience by surprise. At S8UL, we have only 2 members besides me who are working on day-to-day operations.
You are joking.
Yes. And one of them is Jayesh, who's sitting right here.
Is he as like crazy passionate as you
are?
are?
We are a crazy madhouse. And this is the reason why why the team is small is also because until February, we were competing in 3 games. As of today, we are competing in 16 games. So we scaled too fast, but we could not grow the team fast. But if you talk about answering your question, I think for me, I take a case-by-case study and I have an amazing team with whom I can delegate work really well. So I believe that they have been trained really well enough to get me only those works that requires my attention, because they respect my time. They understand that if Thug needs to be somewhere, that needs to be absolutely worth it. So although I'm clogged with work, because I'm that kind of person who pokes his nose in everything.
I can tell.
Like,
I can tell.
I would delegate, but then I would go to him and say, okay, show me what you're doing. But then I believe I have an amazing team who, keep me up and going. So priority wise, I think it's just because what requires urgency, I just keep on juggling. And the best part about 8-Bit and S8UL is they are very interlinked. Most of our creators who are in S8UL are managed by 8-Bit. So to be honest, not much of an hassle. Until now, it's been somewhat a smooth run.
I mean, listen, you mentioned 16 teams from 3. I imagine that being a partnered team for EWC is an influence, right? Maybe a motivator,
right?
Maybe a driving force. First of all, congratulations. It is a very selective group of organizations and clubs that are partnered. How do you feel knowing that you are at that scale? And what are your ambitions when you look forward?
I feel grateful. EWCF has changed our life. It has given us leaps and bounds. We have fast forwarded 3 years. Just before I got married earlier this year, I was speaking.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I was speaking to a lot of people. I said, yes, I'm getting married. Obviously, there's going to be a change in my life. And I envision us to be in the EWC 2 years from now. And a month after I got married, I got that acceptance email. It has changed our life. I will be forever indebted. I'll tell you why. So we have always been a content-based team. Our organization has been known for content. We have won content group of the year over 3 years. We were doing esports. We were doing PUBG Mobile, Pokemon Unite, and Call of Duty, and another one I don't really recall. But PUBG Mobile and Pokemon Unite being 2 of our premier titles. I think we were actually competing in just 2. Yeah, just 2. So when EWC came and when the requirements, prerequisites, expansion into games, etc. came in, it just changed my perspective of moving on from content to esports very fast. So I would have been a lazy ass trying to work across the next 2 years.
First of all, hold on. I don't think you know how to be a lazy ass. To be honest, you have been an overachiever in everything you've done. So I don't believe you for a second.
I think I was slow. I
understand that for you, your timelines are not the rest of this industry.
Yeah, it could be. But then I believe I would have slowed down. I would have taken it easy. I'm grateful to EWC. They showed me what esports is. Today, as of today, 8-Bit Thug wants to build just esports. And this feeling, this motivation factor wouldn't have come in if you wouldn't have been a part of EWC. Because expanding into first 8 games for EWC and then for another domestically, I just love it. I just want to be everywhere in every game. Yeah. I just want to expand my team. I want to go global. I want to be in every part of the world. In 2-3 years, I want every esports team to fear us.
Listen, and I need every other CEO listening to this. Good luck. Good luck. That's all I can say.
Yes, and obviously the support. The support that EWC brings in.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing people, Hans, Ali, all of them, the kind of support they show us. I believe they were soft corner for India's team. But then, yeah, it's beautiful being here. It's the Thug of 2018 is so fucking proud of himself. Like, I feel like patting my back.
Okay, listen, I want to continue patting your back. You actually introduced 2 topics that I'd like to go to. We'll come to PUBG Mobile because I want to talk about that in India, and that's a bit more of a heavy topic. I'd like to pat you on the back because you've helped build teams that have been honored by the Esports Awards. How do the accolades sort of validate or maybe justify the hard work that you've put in, maybe acknowledging the roadmap that you've gone, that you've provenly, demonstratively got one of these bad boys, and you can say, I've been successful.
I think, accolades, you may think you are the best, but the world telling you that you are the best, that is what the difference an accolade makes. Today, the world tells us that you are the best. You're the best in content. We have won it for 3 consecutive years, a feat achieved by no one else. I have grown up. I always said this on record. I wanted S8UL to be one of 100 Thieves kind or a face kind, especially 100 Thieves. Nature has been a legend and I look up to him. But, this year I changed my motto. I'm not building the 100 Thieves of India. I am building S8UL of the world. So it's like, the accolades really help.
Can I tell you a quote that I learned in a very young age on Reddit? It's one of these black and white posters. It was a picture of Ash Ketchum looking up at the mountain. And it said, work until your idols become your rivals and then beat them. And I followed that motto, and I can sense that the essence of S8UL, of 8-Bit Studios, is the same. What does it mean to have S8UL recognized and acknowledged on the same stage, competing and beating the clubs that you just talked about?
I think, like I said, humility comes in first. We learn from them. We got better. So I would say learning and then putting in your own efforts to get better. I think it has always felt really special when I see nominees for the content group of the year, and then it's S8UL and side by side we have 100 Thieves. It's a moment of pride. And I guess we would continue beating them in their own game.
Work until your idols become your rivals and then beat them. I mean, honestly, it works. Okay, so we talked beforehand. I grew up in South Africa, and I assume that the mobile gaming industry in sub-Saharan Africa is probably very similar to India. And what I mean by that is there's going to be a significantly larger amount of the population that play games on their phones. They have access to mobile and mobile data more easily than they do consoles and PCs. Combine that with infrastructure challenges. South Africa literally doesn't have enough electricity to keep the whole country's power on. That is happening right now, right? So mobile gaming growing, looking at things like the Mobies, looking at mobile titles here at EWC like PUBG Mobile, Free Fire, Honor of Kings, like these communities are massive. And the Western world doesn't appreciate just how big it is. Help contextualize it.
I think it's high. So this is something that I said on the red carpet on the opening ceremony as well. If you look at teams that come from the Asian region and region of yours, or maybe Southeast Asia, and then moving it to South Korea, everyone has prioritized mobile gaming because it could be very difficult to own a gaming PC with especially graphics card prices going off the roof. But everyone now owns a mobile phone. So I don't think that could be it's a very layman understanding that everyone should have, that mobile gaming is big with the massive audience. Look at MLBB, look at Honor of Kings. The prize pools are, in multiples bigger than some of the biggest PC titles.
Even before just the prize pools, look at the content creators, look at the stream numbers. Also, look at the market penetration for those gaming communities. I know that in Indonesia, there are more accounts in MLBB than there are people in the country.
Yes.
Okay. So, how do you feel then when you do come to events like this where, let's be honest, there's an ignorance to the size of it. Sometimes there's even a disrespect from the PC gaming elite. I mean, PC Master Race even like shits on console gamers. Right. So how do you feel about that and helping to level up that knowledge?
I don't think I feel anything negative about it. It's great. Let people ignore it, because by the time they decide to go that path, it will be so big that they won't be able to do anything. So I'm I'm okay with them not being a part of this entire mobile esport revolution that's coming. But I'm glad. Let there be less competition, because we are growing. China is growing. India is growing. We are going to continue to grow. We are going to get so big that people won't be able to do anything. They won't have resources to compete with us. And I'm glad. We are more than happy. S8UL is more than happy to be proudly a mobile esports or mobile gaming organization first. No shyness. I still stand shoulder to shoulder with the elites of the PC gaming industry. We are still in club program. We are still doing content. We are doing everything. So let people shit on us, let people look at down, but we are okay. We are winning.
Animesh, there's quite a few parallels. I'm nearly 10 years older than you are. And I've had the pleasure of doing interviews and defending esports to the mainstream. I was there when the EULCS started and Riot Games invested. And I got to tell a lot of journalists who were like, yeah, but it's not really a sport. I don't care. I said, tell you what, do you have children? And these journalists from very big television networks and newspapers say, yes. I look them in the eyes and I say, do your children want to do my job or your job? Absolutely. And immediately changes. It's a matter of time until things grow. Okay, let's slow down a little bit and change gears to maybe a more difficult topic. PUBG Mobile was banned. PUBG Mobile World Cup, Indian representation, it was a setback. Help explain to me, first of all, what the ban meant for you and the entire population of India and what it means to have the teams coming back.
I think PUBG ban put India's, because we are a mobile industry first, and then PUBG Mobile being the biggest game in India, the PUBG Mobile ban set us back at least 3 years. If Tencent would have still existed, I mean, like Crafter India is doing a fantastic job. No discredit to them. But if Tencent would have existed, or if the game would have existed, I don't really care if it would have been Crafter or Tencent.
Yeah.
But if the game would have been community, we would have been another 2 years ahead. Yeah. It set us back 2 years. It impacted a lot of lives. The worst part was a lot of people were deep down heavily invested into it. We at S8UL, we were big even back then. It was very easy for us as having a roster of big creators to pivot. Among Us blew about just then. And then, because we were a group of creators, it was easy for us to just pivot from a 4-person playing game to a 10-person playing game, get in creativity, remove the competitiveness, get in the fun element. We were able to pivot. But what about those other organizations? I know so many organizations that were being built so well, they had to shut down their shops because they never thought the reason to diversify, which is okay. They wanted to focus on one game, become master of one trade. But then it was sad, it was bad. But then all's well that ends well. Crafton is back, BGMI is back. We have an India-specific game. We have an Indian team representing India finally after a long wait in Riyadh, playing the EWC. So I think good times are back. But that was a very, very difficult moment for us. I remember I was literally shivering. We all were trembling. Yeah. We did not know what to do. But then take a deep breath, trust the God, things fall in place, and it fell in place for us.
It's also, it is the harsh reality of the esports industry that as content creators, as influencers, as talent managers, as professional clubs, you are somewhat at the mercy of not only the developers and the titles, but also the size of your community. So when one of those starts to struggle, or political reasons, or developer reasons, or geopolitical stuff, like it has an impact. You mentioned about the creators, you mentioned about the rest of the industry in India, not just is S8UL. I know it's mobile first. I know the development is there. You have the players, you have the passion, you have the, I'm going to use the word, you have the addiction to sports. I've watched cricket. IPL is one of the most incredible leagues, the international awareness of it. So what are some of the structural challenges that your grassroots organizations are doing? There needs to be more competition. There needs to be more broadcast. There needs to be more awareness. How do we solve that in India?
I think when I look at something called as a grassroots, like you said, we achieved a lot in a very short span of time. 7 years is nothing compared to legacy of a team like Team Liquid, which has been there for 25 years. I believe in India, teams, there are a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of co-founders that look up to us, someone like an S8UL, and want to build something like ours. But what they need to understand that when me, Mortal Goldie, we started, we were not in it for money first. We were in it because it was a passion-driven project. Yes. We thought that we could create impact. We were having fun. The problem with Indian grassroots, be it be new organization, newer players, is the first thing that they demand is money. Everyone wants to swipe in quick and swipe out even faster. I think that does not work. Esports is very difficult to monetize and be profitable. We have 2 business verticals. We make money in our talent business. We invested into the esports team, and we have a cycle going on. Not easy to replicate, but we first started S8UL. It was not for money. It was a passion-driven project, and that is the core grassroots problem of Indian thought process. I think that's the problem why a lot of organizations shut down. We have had more organizations shut down than they open.
Yeah.
And talking about other problems, I think infrastructurally, India is the cheapest data available. So we have 5G speeds. We have speeds that I don't find in other countries, and data prices that are like, I think, one of the cheapest in the world. And if we talk about government recognition, I was sitting with the Honorable Prime Minister of the country last year discussing gaming. I met him twice actually discussing gaming. We have been traveling all around the world. Gaming is being recognized. All states in India are recognizing gaming. I think we are about to reach a level where gaming in India just blows up really well. It becomes another household profession.
Yeah.
And we just started 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So give us more time. So I
Perfect.
believe that we are at the perfect spot. We are not moving too fast, because then there comes a choke point when then the bubble bursts.
Yes.
We are not in a bubble. We are in a very, very realistic state right now. So I would say the grassroots, it's just that people need to change their mentality. Like I said, we want more competition, but competition needs to be healthy. People with correct intent need to enter the industry. Build slow, take baby steps, and there will be one day you will get a big leap, just like how we got.
Yes. And of course, now I want to change the topic a little bit, and I want to zoom out a little bit from just India, because when you look at the world, when you look at sports, and you look at nations and neighbors who similar interests, similar-ish lifestyles, similar-ish hobbies, right? China, Japan, Korea, Southeast Asia, Central Europe, Africa, South America. I think it's fair to say, when we look at India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, there's sporting habits that are similar. Right. There are financial things that are similar. Right. There's mobile gaming that's similar. Arslan Ash putting Tekken and Pakistan on the map is one of the most incredible stories ever.
Absolutely.
I fell in love with Arslan Ash and his story. I love the fact that, for those that don't know, he is one of the first players to compete at international level. And just to be blunt, he kicked the shit out of everyone.
Absolutely.
Not only that, in all the interviews and the conversations that he had, he was like, I'm not even the best player for my country. So now you have these Japanese, these Korean, these European players going to Pakistan to go like compete and play, right? First of all, as a neighbor, as somebody that I'm sure you'll have a more intimate feeling. How do you feel when you see a story like that? And what does it make you think about what will put India on the map in the same way?
I think it's so surprising you mentioned Arslan Ash, because he has been a point of discussion within our team at our base camp in Riyadh. I was talking about fighting games with my boys and, with our team. And I was like, look at what Pakistan has been able to do. Look at the players in Pakistan. One game, Tekken, they are fucking unbeatable in that.
Yes.
We are 10x the size of them. Why can't we have one? I know the reason why can't we have one. It's just that India has been very BGMI centric, very Free Fire centric. And so have been we. I cannot deny that. We were a mobile gaming competing only in 2 orgs. So I don't have the right to go and, say things about the thought process of our other gamers.
Course.
But I believe we are here to change that, because the last 5 months have been an eye-opener for me, a learning for me. If S8UL has such a big influence, I believe it's the best and the correct time for us to make a change in our country, where we give them opportunities, we give them a platform, we give them that, a stress-free environment to go and try out and get better at these games. I know, not today, but in a few years, we are gonna beat the shit out of everyone. We do that in every sport we enter.
Yes.
We are late in gaming, but give us a few years, India will do it. And us, along with other stakeholders, it's not always gonna be S8UL alone cannot change the country.
Yes.
There are other organizations, there are the stakeholders. We are gonna work together. Let me go back to India. Let me see what we can plan over the next 3-4 years. 2026, I'm going to try personally to bring about a change in India about how gamers look at gaming. We need to show them games. Yeah. And this is also how I take this platform to actually request a lot of publishers to identify the potential of Indian gaming market. I mean, we have had such amazing games, but barely any support. We don't have an Indian POC. It's so difficult to reach out to them. FIFA is such a big game in India.
Yeah.
And Apex, there's been twice that an Indian team has qualified for the ALGS Open, Call of Duty Warzone, so many streamers, some of the top streamers playing Call of Duty Warzone. I wish Activision, EA, come down to India. I mean, it's really important. Let's work together. We're not asking for money. We're just asking for an access. Come explore our market. It's
and
a
the market's
really big market.
massive. And it's a growth market.
It's a growth market.
Because you already have saturation in so many other places.
Yes.
Again, South African, I really understand the dynamics of it. Oh my word. Okay. Take a breather for a second. This is a high energy conversation. Okay. It is full of passion and excitement. And you've also alluded to looking forward. So as we start to sort of like wind down the conversation, I want you to look into the next 3 to 5 years. Where do you see, we've already alluded to it, but where do you see as a mission statement, as your North Star for 8-Bit Creatives and S8UL?
For 8-Bit Creatives, I think we are going to continue building on our core foundation, that's managing exclusive talents that really bring value, talents that are at a hyper growth phase, I would say. This could not sound very positive about not supporting younger talent, but I believe that I'm aging. I have hit 30. I've been doing it for the last 7 years. I don't think I would have it in me to work with a talent who has just started in the same manner that I worked with my talents 5 years ago. And I would say I would wait then when there's another thug who can do the same, and then maybe I would work with newer talents. For S8UL, I think esports is gonna remain a very prime focus for us. We are not pivoting, we are not diversifying, we are expanding. We have done great content, we are gonna do great esports. If it's not greatness, it's not Thug's vision. And I believe we really need to take S8UL to a lifestyle brand. We would want to create really good business out of it. We would want to create an e-sporting brand that at least Asian countries haven't seen. I have my inspirations. I know how to go about it. We are going to just add the Indian mind behind it and make it bigger.
I tell you something. The next question that I have is, are you excited about expanding beyond India? Perhaps global partnerships or content formats? I'm not even going to ask Animesh. Fuck yes, he is excited.
Absolutely.
We've covered this in depth. And obviously, it's so apparent, your passion, your drive, your motivation. It's humbling as well at the age that you are, the maturity that you have. I definitely did not have your worldliness at 30, and I'm nearly 40, so I commend you for that. I want to ask a very personal question, okay? I want Animesh to answer this. Not 8-Bit Thug, not 8-Bit Studios, not S8UL. When you are done, in 50 years' time, what is the legacy that you want people to remember you for?
I think I would write a book, The Boy That Lived the Indian Gamer Dream. So I would want people to remember me for, actually wouldn't want people to remember me. I would just want them to forget me. I don't believe that it's a me story. So I actually don't want them to remember. It's an Indian gaming story. So I would just want to, when I'm done, I'd actually just disappear into oblivion. I wouldn't be seen. People wouldn't see me. I don't know if I would ever be done, but if I would be done, it's going to be very soon. Or if I'm not, then I'm just continuing forever. By very soon, I mean next 5-10 years. And if not, I'll be sitting right here with you when you are 70 and I am 60. And then we are going to recall this conversation.
Okay, that's actually what I would like to do. That's what I think will happen. I want to do another, just a very personal thing, that I've had the pleasure of interviewing a lot of people in my 12 years. I have interviewed CEOs to players, sponsors to organizers. I've been interviewed by newspapers. You are so focused on your businesses. You're so focused on the impact that they are having. Seeing you forced to slow down and think personally, I 100% believe you. I will answer on your behalf. The legacy that you will leave behind will be told by the positive influence that you have created. I have no doubt in my mind that no matter what, your team members, your staff, your players, they will praise you to the point that you are so uncomfortable. I can sense it. I can see it coming. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would love that, but not really that I'm looking forward. I don't think that's why I'm hustling.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, like I just don't. I would never want, like you said, what you would want people to be remembered for.
Yeah,
I would exactly. I think you actually answered on my behalf.
It's by the people that you've influenced. Right. I really understand that, and I feel it. The energy's here. Okay. I've got a few quick fire questions that'll start to wrap things up. Before we get to those, we're sitting here. It's week 2 of the Esports World Cup. There's a number of games coming. PUBG Mobile is coming later on in the tournament. What are you most excited for, and how is S8UL attacking this tournament?
I think we are more excited for chess. We have 2 of India's finest chess grandmasters, Arvind and Nihal Sareen, representing us. Super excited. I think this week was a little bit of a break for us. Because it's been pretty hectic last 5 months. But then we are resuming tomorrow. I have actually some of my finest creators flying in tomorrow. I'm going to have a big chunk to handle. We're going to have lots of fun. But I'm very excited for chess. And as far as PUBG Mobile is concerned, an Indian team is representing India globally after 3 long years. Coincidentally, the last time anyone did was us, if I'm not wrong.
That is correct.
Yes, it was Team Soul for Gamers 8. And then it's Team Aryan that's coming in. I wish boys all the luck and all the love. It's a young Indian team, a newer team. Let them come in, let them show the world what India can do. I think it's not about S8UL, not about whoever comes in. It's the India story. We are here to build the India story.
Listen, I'll do this for you. You better kick ass, okay? That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.
That's what. We are here to do that.
Okay, I'm going to challenge you now. These are quick fire questions, okay?
Let's go.
Try to answer the first thing that comes to mind, and we'll do that directly to the camera. Okay. Question number 1. Your favorite game to play when you're off duty?
Valorant.
Question number 2. One creator that you are the most proud of?
Mortal.
That was quick. Number 1. Your dream collab?
Ninja.
Something about the Indian gaming community that continually impresses you?
The fandom.
The game that you would wish to see an Indian player be the best in the world at?
Tekken.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. Okay, Animesh, I want to say thank you so much. I've covered the majority of my questions. I have one bonus question that I want to throw your way. And this comes from a personal background. As a South African, there are esports organizations that have competed at a sort of tier 2 level internationally. Bravado Gaming, shout out to you guys in Counter-Strike. They also kicked my ass in Call of Duty back when I was gaming and I had a team. There are a handful of South African players in recognizable positions. Coach for Cloud9, for example, is a South African coach. I know this proudly. When you look at the community, when you look at the players, what would you say to a young Indian player or content creator? How would you inspire them to take everything that you've done to distill your formula for success so they can forge their own path and, frankly, be your competition in 5 years?
I think first thing would be have a clear vision. I think there are gaming is a very big market, lot of distractions. Have a very clear vision of what you want to achieve. You cannot do everything at the same time. You need to ensure you choose one path and you continue on it. Second is choose your idol very wisely. You need to know whose path you want to follow. Third, be humble on your way. That's it. Fourth, as an Indian, please have a backup. Please have a backup.
Listen, as a human being, you don't have to be Indian to have a backup plan.
But I mean, especially as an Indian, because I know where we come from. I would say this in Hindi, Mummy Papa dhulai denge, backup rakho, varna nahi karne denge gaming. They won't allow you to game if you don't have a backup. Listen to them. Gaming is not a fight that you have to fight alone. There's an entire industry fighting on all of our behalves collectively to make gaming a household profession. We'll get there someday. But yeah, do it and success will be yours. If we can do it, so can you.
I'm so glad you do mention the pressure. I'm so glad you do mention the having a backup. Seriously, if you're in the world and you don't have a lot of Indian friends, Indian students next to you, Indian players in your games, I'm telling you, even friends and neighbors as a South African, we know the pressure that every Indian person has on them from family, from culture. And I can only imagine how much harder it is from home. Listen, thank you so much for the interview. The last thing that I would love for you to do, give a shout out to S8UL, to 8-Bit Studios, to your competitors are coming, and give a shout out to all your fans and supporters. Maybe do something in English and something in Hindi?
Yeah, English is fine.
Okay.
I mean, my fans, I see a lot of edits that they make on whenever I'm giving an interview, and they love the way I speak in English. So I'm going to do it in English for you all. Everyone sitting back at home in India, my S8UL, our entire team, our creators, our players, the core team, I love you all. You all know that I miss you. I'm here for the next 2 months. It's really difficult staying away from you all and my family, my mom, dad, my wife. Thank you and my sister and my brother-in-law. Thank you for always being supportive of me. You all have never allowed any edge to come on me and you have always held my back. Thank you so much. And to all our lovely fans, this podcast is being shot on the day we had our Pune watch party, and I know there are fans on the road, on the entrance, and the venue is full. So I know you all love us. Keep supporting us. And to all my competitors, all our competitors in India, let's build Indian gaming together. I know we are united on a lot of fronts these days, But yeah, let's have fun. Thank you so much.
I'm going to add one more caveat to that. To all your competitors, good luck. Because Animesh is coming and he's coming strong. Animesh, I just want to say thank you so much. Ape It Thug, seriously, one of the most enjoyable interviews I've had the pleasure of doing. For all the viewers at home, I hope you can take a breather. The two of us are loud.
Yes.
We're passionate. I wish you all the luck in the world and congratulations for your success. Congratulations on your marriage. Make sure you let him stay home sometimes. He doesn't have to work all the time to Animesh's wife.
Thank you so much, Trevor. Thank you, Esports Award, for having us. And that's it from the Origins podcast. Thank you, guys.
Did you know that you could stay up to date with all things Esports World Cup just by following the Esport Awards? Subscribe now and stay tuned.